right, let's get right into the news. We've got huge North Korea news, martial law news in England, more Islamic attacks, more acid attacks, more stabbings, more bombings to where they just hope we give in and they stop reporting on it, as the Islamist mayor of London has said. Just get used to it and submit. High-level CIA agent blows the whistle on deep state shadow government. He breaks down the architecture of it from the inside. Exactly as I told you, the architecture has been established. One time I was driving around in Westlake and saw the top of a building open up and SAM missiles pop up and then go back in. And I later talked to one of my sources and they said, yeah, that's a special operations base. He gets into all this, though. It's just crazy. Don't need to have any secret documents to see SAM missiles coming out of the top of a house. So that's the type of stuff that's going on. We're going to get into all of it today. Trump says he will not pull out of the Paris climate deal. He's not doing the DACA deal. We've got all of that information here for you. Chaos in St. Louis. Protesters storm the mayor's house, burn U.S. flags, and are joined by mass gunmen in violent clashes over white cop being cleared of murder for shooting dead black suspect. You know, I wish some of the young folks and some of the people brainwashed by MTV and Soros would look at the statistics. You got 3,000 plus black people being shot, over 2,000 of them dying, and 95+% of them were shot by black folks in Chicago alone. How many people you got shot by cops every year that are black? It's about 230 on average. Let's say all of them were unjustified shootings. Is the issue the tens of thousands of blacks killing each other every year, or the couple hundred cops killing black folks? I mean, I'm just doing numbers here. 51% of blacks are aborted. Don't hear anything out of the liberal blacks about that. Millions of black people get killed in their mama's tummy. We know they were innocent. Why no discussion of that? Because it's all about media hype. That's coming up as Soros tries to foment a race war in this country. Meanwhile, we've got flashbacks. Bernie said Medicare for all would bankrupt the U.S., like Venezuela or Cuba. It would, but now he's all for it. We're going to juxtapose those for you. Hillary had a big book signing in Connecticut in the toilet paper aisle. We're going to have that exclusive HD video for you coming up with Laura Loomer, who shot it. She did her live feed, but we have the HD video she shot. She gave it to us. She's going to be joining us coming up in the second hour. We also have just a bunch of other really, really, really big news. Scientists have edited human embryos to, quote, safely remove disease for the first time. You mean remove genetics that showed you were predisposed to, say, have lung cancer if you smoke cigarettes. See? But by removing that, what else are they removing? And again, they're backdooring the people. Many scientists agree these aren't really humans. These are humanoids. And they're making it where the environment's so toxic we can't have children. But don't worry, you can go to the scientist and they'll make something that looks and acts like a human for you. But just like your cell phone or just like your smart TV, it's got a lot of back doors. It's got a lot of little Trojan horses in it. So that's coming up as well. And GOP congressman proposes pardon deal for Julian Assange. I'll say this, there's no evidence of Russian collusion. We know WikiLeaks got info from U.S. folks and others. Everything WikiLeaks exposed about Hillary, thank God they deserve a medal. So if Trump doesn't pardon Assange, then Trump ought to call for his own indictment. Because WikiLeaks was part of the trifecta of individuals and groups that got Trump in. InfoWars, the American people waking up, taking action, the WikiLeaks, Benghazi, all of that is what defeated that arrogant, entitled witch. So, Trump's good on almost every other subject, but it's hypocritical when he talks about WikiLeaks, very evil, very bad what they did. What? If WikiLeaks has got the documents and WikiLeaks has got our emails, release it. Great job, WikiLeaks. You know, I like the president. He's a great guy. He's under globalist attack, but he's really wrong on that. Maybe we should put together his clips on WikiLeaks, praising it, and then saying they're criminal. I mean, I'm not trying to score points here against the president, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I don't like seeing people that stick their necks out to try to restore this republic being backstabbed. I mean, somebody literally puts you over the top. You try to flush them down the toilet. Now, I know the word is that's rhetorical for cover. And the president is looking at a pardon or ways to do this. But then that allows all the leaks they're using to destroy him, the criminal leaks. So then it's kind of a balancing act, isn't it? So I get where El Presidente is coming from. So I can say I see why he's doing what he's doing, but I can also see how it's not the right thing to do. That's what we do here. We don't just pick a political topic that we think sounds the best and makes the most people happy, but then not deliver on it. We go with what's right. Because compromising with what's right is what's turned us from the greatest, strongest, most focused, able, inventive, creative, tough, amazing, loving, dynamic nation in the world to turning us into a paradox where we still have that in us and it still shines now and then, but we've also plumbed the depths. We've hit the heights, boy, we've gone to the depths. And let me tell you about the depths. The deep state, run by the shadow government, had the decision to have the strategy of tension and strategic patience and all this other baloney to give North Korea nuclear, fissile material, and delivery systems, just like the same deep state gave the Chi-Coms, and just like they gave it to the Russians. The Russians were able when it came to missile technology and rocket technology, but not to atomic weapons and H-bombs. The globalists gave that to them. That's part of the public record. And so now, why on earth would we be critical of our president when North Korea is threatening to nuke South Korea, Seoul, and Tokyo, Japan, and running around foaming at the mouth, and shot another missile over Japan, and is engaged in all this bizarre behavior? Why on earth would we sit here now and put up with this? And look, I don't want war, but they're the ones threatening preemptively to strike. So Nikki Haley has her issues. I've got her full transcript here where she says, in a diplomatic process, when North Korea doesn't work, she said, we'd be perfectly happy to send this over to Secretary Mattis since he has plenty of military options. You don't say you're happy to go to the military option. But she's accurate when she says if we hit North Korea, they'll be totally destroyed because you can't let them, if you just pinprick them, knock out their ICBMs, they're going to respond with conventional weapons against Japan and against Korea, and you're into a major war. You've got to decapitate them fully if you decide to strike them, and I've been saying that for years. So I agree with what she's saying there, but she's getting briefed on that. Let's go to a clip of her on CNN today talking about totally destroying North Korea. Here it is.
We wanted to be responsible and go through all diplomatic means to get their attention first. If that doesn't work, General Mattis will take care of it.
Well, by saying General Mattis will take care of it, you're talking about the Pentagon and you're talking about a military option. Is that what fire and fury meant?
You have to ask the president what fire and fury meant, but I think we all know that basically if North Korea keeps on with this reckless behavior, if the United States has to defend itself or defend its allies in any way, North Korea will be destroyed.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday giving North Korea his most aggressive warning to date.
President Trump is not a racist.
I say red baseball caps mean you're an ass.
Tonight, the fight over Confederate statues is now a flashpoint.
Large groups of people punching, kicking, and hitting each other with sticks.
If you see this and you understand what is going on and it makes you angry, do not take yourself out of the game.
Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.